Today we take time to remember and honor mothers, both our own and also all mothers. I have a question for you mothers. How many sleepless nights did you have raising your baby? How many diapers did you change? How many times did you bandage a skinned knee, or how many tears did you dry? Your mother did all of that for you. Let me put this into a broader context. We each had one mother, of course, and she and your father each had a mother. That's three mothers who were involved in you being here today. By that I mean your mother and both your grandmothers. Going back further, your grandmothers and grandfathers had mothers, which adds four more, bringing the total to 7 mothers in just 3 generations. If we continue to add it up for 10 generations, there would be no more and no less than 1,023 mothers needed for you to be here today. 1,023 mothers in 10 generations. Think about all of those 1,023 mothers spending sleepless nights, changing diapers, feeding babies, bandaging skinned knees and drying tears during those 10 generations just so you could be here today. None of those mothers 10 generations ago could have imagined what your life would be like now. They weren't thinking that far ahead. They were only loving their babies. That is an amazing amount of love quietly taking place day after day and year after year, generation after generation. All those mothers had hopes and dreams for their children, even before they were born, and God does too. Jeremiah 1, verses 4 and 5 tell about the plan God had for Jeremiah before he was born. Jeremiah wrote, "The word of the Lord came to me, saying, Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." Just as your mom had hopes for you, so did God. Isaiah 44, verse 2 talks about God as the one who formed you in the womb and who helped you. Verse 3 says that God was not only aware of you, he promised to help mothers and the children. It says, "I will pour out my spirit on your offspring and my blessing on all your descendants." God is still fulfilling that promise. One of the greatest blessings God gives us is the gift of love, and that is something we learned by our parents' examples, particularly our mother's example, and the countless sacrifices they made for us. We can never know how many times they put our needs and wants ahead of theirs. In that way, they were much like Jesus. 1 John 3:16 tells us, "This is how we know what love is. Jesus Christ laid down his life for us. Just as our mother sacrificed for us, Jesus gave everything." Not only do we have hopes for our children, and we do our best to help them fulfill their dreams, but sometimes those dreams end in heartache. Just as your mother comforted you in your disappointments, and when you were hurting, the Lord is also there to console you. Just as you always knew you could go to your mother, you can go to God, who will hold you in loving embrace like she did. She never stopped loving you, and neither will God. For those of us whose mothers have gone to their eternal home, we miss them, but we have the treasure of memories helping us stay connected to a lifetime of love. One of the most well-known stories of motherhood involves Mary and her cousin Elizabeth. It's found in Luke chapter 1, verses 45 to 50. When Mary heard Elizabeth was expecting a baby, she went to her. When she got there, Elizabeth said to Mary, "Blessed is she who has believed that what the Lord has said to her will be accomplished." And Mary said, "My soul magnifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior, for he has been mindful of the humble state of his servant. From now on, all generations will call me blessed, for the Mighty One has done great things for me. Holy is his name. His mercy extends to those who fear him from generation to generation. I spoke of a long line of 1,023 mothers that were involved in you being born. Without any one of them, you could not be here. Without any one of those 1,023, you could not be here. Your children and your children's children continue that gift of life. Mary was part of a long line of mothers too. That line of mothers made the birth of Christ possible, and her faith will continue to change the world for all time to come. Thank you to all you mothers, and happy Mother's Day.